Alright folks, welcome back to the shop. Got this old 80s model, early 80s model Poulan chainsaw, all metal housing. Customer brought in, said the saw hadn't run in years, been sitting in his shed. This saw is a real Poulan back. So we're going to go in this thing and see what we can come up with, see if maybe we can fix it. Of course, most of the time the question ain't whether we can fix it, it's whether the customer wants to spend that amount of money. But on an old Poulan like this, it may be worth it. Let's dive right in there and see what we got. Giving an overlook here, this is not like the standard Poulans we've been working on, the newer model. Say first thing you'll notice is that this machine has a manual oil pump. I hadn't looked up any instructions yet on this, but I did read on another one time that was in this same area that it also put a little bit automatic, but it had one that you could manually pump oil too. Now I don't know that this model's in that. Saw looks in pretty good shape overall. First thing I'll notice is that it's got a hard-nosed bar. That means no roller tip in it. It's the Poulan 4000 model. From what I'm researching, this model was generally made in about 1981. I don't really know what year they stopped making them. Customer indicated that this saw, it got hard to crank a while back. He went into the machine and cleaned the carb himself, and after that could never get it to run quite right. And since then, my understanding is it's been sitting in a barn. We ain't even going to attempt to crank it like we normally would. First thing we're going to do as normal, take the bar and chain off of the unit. Then we're also going to go inside of it and dump the fuel right off the bat, since we know it's been sitting for several years. So let's get started. Alright, we'll go ahead and remove the bar cover. I've already took the nuts off. First thing I notice is that, like much of the newer ones, the chain tensioner is built into the cover. Bar off. A hard-nosed bar, not a lot of noticeable wear on it. It still looks in excellent shape. Next thing we'll do is we'll inspect this sprocket. It has some wear on it. By no means is it out of shape. So what I'm going to do next, knowing that this saw is set since I got the bar off, I'm going to dump the tank and inspect that fuel. One thing I do notice about this saw, unlike newer model on all the saws, there is no chain brake. That is not a brake, that is merely just a little guard that's bolted on. So in today's logwoods, you would not be able to use this. It would be against laws. Liability law or some kind of damn law. I'm sure they got a law. So let's go ahead and dump that fuel and inspect it. Alright, upon opening the fuel tank, I find there is no fuel to dump. Yeah, looking inside, looks pretty clean. I got the fuel line out. It doesn't appear to be dry rotted. So I think what we'll do based on that, I think we'll go ahead and put some fuel in it, and let's see if we can get it to bust off. Alright, let's see if we get anything out of it. Well, it sputtered right there. As you can see, the damn starter rope won't stay on, so we're going to stop what we're doing next and fix that. Alright, in lieu of the starter not making a good contact, I removed the top of it, and the first thing I noticed is this module. It's just caked with dirt and debris. So while we're in here doing this starter cover, we're going to remove that module and clean those contacts. It might not be the problem, but it sure can't be helping with all that debris and stuff on there. So we got the starter cover off, and it feels like it's real dry in there, so I'm going to remove this, look inside, maybe put a little bit of lithium oil in there, grease, and we'll roll on from there. Alright, upon taking that starter assembly apart, I find out that the internal parts broke. Alright, let me start out by saying I don't rig stuff. But considering that this saw has got some age on it and hasn't been running a long time, I hate to order a rotor and then find out I might need a carb or something and it costs more than the customer wants. So what I have done is I have got this where it will somewhat work, and we're going to concentrate right now on getting the unit running. If we can get the unit running, then we'll track down this part, call the customer and see what he wants to do. But before we do that, we're going to get it going just enough that we can make sure the unit will run. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that module off and clean it and clean the contacts. So that's the next thing I'll do. I don't know how well you can see that, but that is natural packed with dirt. You can't even see the edges of that. You can't, I mean, it was natural covered. We're going to take a piece of sandpaper and see if we can sand that off a little bit. We know it was apparently getting some fire because we heard it try to crank. And this is probably not the only problem, but it sure can't help it. We're going to shine those up a little bit and that'll definitely help it. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. While we're here, we're going to do the same thing on these magnetos. Yeah, that's a lot better looking. So now we'll remount that. Alright, we've now remounted the module. We've checked to make sure we have the correct clearance. I always like to rotate it by hand just to make sure that there's no contacts. Next thing we're going to do is put that starter cover back on, give it a whirl, and see where we at. I don't expect it to crank, but we're going to try it anyway. Just for giggles, we're going to try to start it, but I don't expect it to start. Just goes to show you never know. So we're going to try to adjust some dials on that thing and see what happens. Alright, we got that jewel running, but if you listen, there's a little bit of hesitation. We're going to try to take that out. You remember in that last video I told you I like it when you bash that gas, it's ready to go, not no I want it to go. And that's what we got. Let's see if she'll fire right back up.
I guess you know it, but I am a fiddle player too.
You can't ask for much better than that. So I would say probably the hardest start all revolved around that ignition module being dirty. We're going to go ahead and blow all that dirt out there. Alright, there ain't no sense in going into that car. This machine runs too smooth. I would say that based on what we did there and what we found, most of the problem was in that module. So now we'll see if we can track down a rotor and we'll have this old boy back in business. Alright, so we've spoken with the customer about this rope rotor, and he has informed me that he does not want me to mess with that. All he wants me to do is get the saw running. So I've done that. I do have the saw running. Kind of disheartening. I like to see one leave here ready to go, but he did tell me in the beginning he just wanted it running. We've done what we've been told to do, and as you know, the customer's always right. We're going to go ahead and put the bar and chain back on it and button this baby up. That'll pretty much wind us up. Alright, we got her put back together, so we're going to fire up and give her one last test run. I I'd definitely call that a success, so that's as far as we can go.
Caramel, crunchy.